My name is Kalia. I worked as a flight attendant for private jets. The pay was incredible, but the clients were different. One night, I was assigned to a flight for a billionaire named Mr. Sterling. There were no other passengers, just him and two unconscious women he claimed were his sick nieces he was taking to a specialist hospital. Mid-flight, Mr. Sterling fell asleep. I went to check on the women in the back. They weren't sick, they were drugged. Their wrists were zip-tied with velvet ribbons. I saw a folder on the seat next to them. It was titled The Auction. Inside were photos of these women, and a photo of me. My blood turned to ice. I wasn't the staff. I was part of the merchandise. I didn't panic. I went to the galley, grabbed the emergency axe, and locked the cockpit door from the outside so the pilot couldn't help. Then, I woke Mr. Sterling up, with the axe in my hand. I forced them to land that plane in a cornfield in Kansas. I ran until my lungs burned. Mr. Sterling disappeared before the police arrived, but I kept that folder. And today, I'm releasing the names. Welcome back, friends. We live in a world where money can buy almost anything. Silence, power, and sometimes people. You've heard the rumors. You've seen the news about private islands and black books. Today, I am bringing you the infamous Estepin file, a story of a forbidden island that history tried to erase. But that is just the beginning. I have dug deeper and found 4 more harrowing accounts that go even beyond the Estepin case. These are true stories of ordinary women who walked into the palaces of the elite, saw the monsters hiding behind the gold, and fought their way out. This is going to be a long, dark ride. Let's begin. My name is Lysandra. In 1998, I was a struggling massage therapist in Miami. A recruiter approached me. He said a wealthy European count, Lord Estepin, needed a private therapist for his island estate. The contract was for 3 months. The money was life-changing. I signed. A helicopter took me to the island. It was paradise. White sand, a massive white mansion, armed guards in suits. Lord Estepin was charming. He told me, "My guests are the most powerful men in the world. They come here to release their demons. You must never judge them." For the first week, I just gave massages. But then the special guests arrived. I was summoned to the Blue Room. A man was waiting. He wore a mask made of pure gold. He didn't want a massage. He wanted me to sit still while he hunted me. He told me, "I will give you a 10-minute head start. If you can hide in the mansion until dawn, you earn a bonus. If I find you." He stroked a long, sharp knife on the table. I realized this wasn't a job, it was a game. I ran. I hid in the ventilation shafts. From the vents, I could look down into other rooms. I saw things that haunt me. Other girls crying, being forced to dance on broken glass for the amusement of men in masks. I crawled through the vents until I reached Estepin's private office. On his desk was a thick, black leather book. The file. I opened it. It was a ledger. Not just names, but prices. Senator X paid $50K. Director Y paid $100K. They were buying us. I ripped out the pages with the dates and names. I knew I couldn't save everyone, but I could destroy Estepin. I found the boathouse. I knocked out a guard with a fire extinguisher and stole a jet ski. I rode into the open ocean in the pitch black. When I gave the pages to the FBI, they raided the island. Lord Estepin was found dead in his cell before trial, but the men in the masks, they were never caught. My name is Mirella. I was an aspiring actress in Los Angeles. I got a call for a private audition with a legendary director, Voss. He was known for his hyper-realistic horror movies. The audition was at his private estate in the Hollywood Hills. When I arrived, the house was empty. Just Voss and a camera. "We are filming the final scene," he said. "The scene where the girl realizes she is going to die. I need real fear, Mirella." He led me to a soundproof basement. It was set up like a dungeon. Chains, cages, surgical tools. "Action," he said. He locked the door. He picked up a scalpel. "Voss, is this a prop?" I asked. He smiled. "There are no props in my movies." He lunged at me. He wasn't acting. He was filming a snuff film. I dodged him. I ran to the corner where the props were. I grabbed a heavy metal camera stand. When he came at me again, I swung it with all my strength. It hit him in the temple. He went down. I grabbed his keys and unlocked the door. As I ran out, I saw his shelf of completed movies. There were dozens of tapes, all with names of actresses who had gone missing over the years. I burned that house to the ground before I called the cops. My name is Thalia. I worked as a chef on luxury yachts. I got a gig on a mega yacht called the Leviathan, owned by an oil tycoon. We sailed into international waters, miles from any land. The guests arrived by helicopter. They were all men. They brought no women with them. On the second night, the captain called the staff together. "Tonight is the hunt," he said. "You are the prey." They gave us life jackets and told us to jump into the water. The guests were standing on the deck with crossbows. It was the most dangerous game. They were going to shoot us in the water for sport. I didn't jump. I ran to the engine room. I knew ships. I knew that if I cut the fuel line to the main generator, the ship would go dead in the water. No lights, no power. I cut the line. The yacht plunged into total darkness. The guests panicked. They couldn't see to shoot. In the confusion, I found the flare gun in the emergency kit. I didn't shoot it into the sky. I shot it directly onto the deck where the fireworks for the party were stored. The explosion was massive. The guests were forced to jump into the water to save themselves from the fire. I lowered a lifeboat and picked up the other staff members. We left the billionaires floating in the dark ocean, waiting for sharks. My name is Serafina. I was a waitress at an exclusive underground club in New York City. No phones, no names. Members wore velvet robes. One night, I was serving wine in the VIP lounge. A member spilled his drink. As I bent down to clean it, his robe slipped. Underneath, he wasn't wearing clothes. He was wearing a suit made of human skin. No, it was leather, but stitched to look like skin. He grabbed my hair. "You saw, didn't you?" The room went silent. All the members turned to look at me. "She saw the ritual," one whispered. They locked the doors. The manager, a woman I trusted, looked at me with pity. "I'm sorry, Serafina. You can't leave now. You have to join." Joining meant being branded. They heated up a branding iron with the club's symbol. I realized I was surrounded. My only weapon was the bottle of expensive vintage brandy in my hand. It was 80% alcohol. I smashed the bottle over the head of the man holding me. Then I grabbed a candle from the table and threw it onto the alcohol-soaked carpet. The fire spread instantly in the small room. The velvet robes, they were highly flammable. Panic erupted. In the smoke and chaos, I crawled out the service door. I ran into the subway station, still wearing my apron covered in wine and ash. The club burned down, but the members, they just moved to a new location. My name is Orin. I was hired as a live-in nanny for a famous senator's family. He had a reputation for being a family man. His wife, Mrs. Valtor, was rarely seen. The senator told me, "She is very sick, mentally unstable. Do not go into the West Wing attic. She is dangerous." For months I took care of the kids, but I would hear crying from the attic at night. One day the senator was away on a campaign trip. I stole the key to the attic. I went up. It wasn't a bedroom. It was a cell. Padded walls, bars on the windows. Mrs. Valtor wasn't sick. She was drugged. She looked at me with clear, terrified eyes. "He isn't a senator," she whispered. "He is a handler. He sells secrets, and he's going to sell you next." She showed me a hidden camera in the nursery. He had been filming me. I knew we had to leave now. I helped Mrs. Valtor down the stairs. We got the kids. I loaded everyone into the senator's own armored SUV. As we reached the gate, the security guards tried to stop us. I rammed the gate at 60 miles per hour. The armored car smashed through. We drove straight to a news station, not the police. We went live on air within an hour. Mrs. Valtor exposed everything, the trafficking, the bribes, the Estepin file connections her husband had. The senator was arrested on live TV. The Estepin file, the yacht, the audition. These aren't just stories, they are warnings. The people we look up to, the people in the high castles. Sometimes they are the monsters we should fear the most. They think their money builds a wall that justice can't climb. But as these brave women showed us, every wall can be broken, and every castle can burn. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the elite underworld, hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video, if they don't silence me first.